For our hip cars, we're going to be moving our hips through a pretty big range of motion so that we're hitting spots, pieces of the muscles that don't get worked as much during other movements like squats and deadlifts. So we'll be focusing on the rotation of the joint. We're going to do a prone car, which is the one that we're going to do right now. And then in a different video, we'll do kneeling cars, but it's the same movement, same range of motion, just from two different angles. So for our prone cars, we will lay in our prone position. Remember, that's face down. You can have your head facing, or your face facing down, or you can have your face facing forward. Since we're not doing much above the waist, the likelihood that you'll strain your neck is pretty low. However, if you do have any neck discomfort from being here, go ahead and put your face down. Again, it's fine to make a pillow for your face with your hands if you would like, and that's comfy. Press out lightly through both heels to start. We're going to do one leg at a time. So you'll keep a light pressure in the heels or weight in the heel of the side that we're not working. For the working side, you'll bend that knee. First thing that we're going to do, we're going to try to keep as much of both of our hips on the ground as we can. So first thing that I'm going to do is raise that knee up, that foot straight up. I'm going to rotate out. And at some point, I'll have to rotate my knee. I'm going to come up until my knee is roughly 90 degrees out, or roughly straight out from my hip, so that my hip joint is at roughly 90 degrees. My knee will stay at roughly 90 degrees. And then I'm going to set that knee down. Then I'll lift. And I'll rotate when I need to. And then I'll come back down. So you can see that this hip does come off the floor a little bit. What I'm trying to avoid is something where I just kind of like roll my body over and roll over to make it happen. I really want to be focusing on moving through that hip joint. So I'm keeping my right side hip over here on the ground. Ooh, it is a lot more work than it looks like. And then I'm going to lift. Keep it as high as I can and come back down. For these, it is fine to press yourself into the ground with your arms if you find that helpful. You can push a little bit like this. Whatever works to help you keep that other hip on the ground and get this knee off the ground and this hip through its greatest range of motion. Any of that is fine. It can actually be in some ways helpful to keep some additional pressure through your hands and into the ground so that you're holding more tension in your body, because that way you're not kind of scrubbing off energy, making micro shifts as you go through the movement. So those are our prone hip cars. Now you try.